Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Michael's Corner. Now tonight I will be interviewing a very special person. He is one of the referees in the Midwest before he moved to Wisconsin. So I would like to invite this guest onto my live stream. And you guys very well know Willie Mack. Now, I'm not talking about Willie Mack from Impact Wrestling. I'm talking about Willie Mack, the referee. Willie Mack. So, I am very excited to have him on. I read his post, so it's been a while since he did anything wrestling related. I'm just waiting for him to be on this live stream. So if you guys give me a minute, I will send him an invite and hopefully he'll see this. So, but first off, before I invite Willie Mack, I would like to give out some shout outs to a couple of people. So my first shout out I want to give to is the State of Pro Wrestling. Actually, my friends of State of Pro Wrestling. You can follow them on social media on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Also, I'm going to give a shout out to my friends on the Wrestle Talk podcast. Those are my friends. So, you can follow them on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And finally, you guys can follow Discussion Pro Wrestling. It's a Facebook wrestling group. And I'll be posting content on there as well. So, when you have a chance, just go to Discussion Pro Wrestling Facebook group and send their request to join their group. Okay? So let's see here. Hi Tom. That's Tom Burdick. Also one of my good friends in the wrestling business. I will be interviewing him very soon. Yep, because I've been wanting to interview Tom for the longest as well. So I'm just waiting for Billy Mack to come on here so we can do this live video. So how's everybody doing this evening? So Okay, you guys, wait 1 second. I'm going to message Willie Mack right now. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I'm back. I just had to message Willie to get his butt over here so that we can start this live stream. So, yep, if you guys are just joining me, I am doing another episode of Michael's Corner. I'm interviewing one of my wrestling buddies. He's a referee, Willie Mack. So, and like I said, we're not talking about Willie Mack, the wrestler. We're talking about Willie Mack, the referee. There we go. Hello.
Hey,
What took you so long?
I just got the notification. At least you didn't have to have too much dead air, right?
Yeah. No, you're fine.
All right, good.
So let's just get started with this interview. We have
All
people
right.
waiting for 5 minutes.
5 minutes? No.
Oh, just kidding. 3 minutes.
All right.
So I've been wanting to interview you for 4 years now.
Yeah, that's what we were saying earlier.
Yeah, like we stated earlier. Yeah, it's like I'm glad that we got this opportunity because I was trying to get an interview with you at a wrestling show, but you moved. So
Yes. Yep, I moved.
yep. So that made it, I was waiting for this moment, and I was waiting for, like Facebook app gets all the updates, because
Yeah.
at the time I couldn't invite people live on my live streams at the time.
Yeah,
But
I didn't know that you could do that.
but now with all these updates,
Yeah.
I'll I can do my live streams and invite people onto my live stream.
That's great.
So let's get the show on the road. I know you got stuff to do. I got stuff to do. So let's not waste any time. So my
Fantastic.
first question to you is, how did you get your start in wrestling as a referee?
Um, I actually got my start in wrestling as a pro wrestler. I
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah. You
know
know that
this.
about me, Michael?
No,
Michael?
I did not.
Yeah, I used to wear a mask. I scared kids.
Oh, I did not know about this.
Yeah, it was probably like 5 or 6 years before you started coming to shows that I was a pro wrestler. I got
Oh,
trained by Lenny Lane. I started in
mm-hmm.
January of 2009.
Okay.
Along with, I was the only person in my training class. Lenny didn't
Mm-hmm.
really train too many people. This was kind of before wrestling took a good hold on social media. So there wasn't too much. It was actually asking around about it at
Mhm.
different wrestling promotions that I went to, and I did like a little training seminar with Ian Xavier a couple
Okay.
times, and I heard through the grapevine that Lenny Lane was doing training at
Mhm.
his warehouse facility where next to that he would also run birthday parties at the training facilities. So during the week
Mhm.
we would do the wrestling training, and then during the weekend he would do birthday parties at the place.
Mhm.
Um, but I wrestled under a name and under a mask of
Mhm.
contrast. I've got the mask if you wanted to see it.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so Rendell wrestled under contrast for a couple years, and at that point in time in my life, I was a student, and uh, I was going to school, and there was 1 month where I kept getting kicked in the head and stomped on the head and dropped on the head, and I ended up getting like 4 concussions in the span of 1 month, and it caused some severe brain damage, or not severe, but like some minor brain damage, and I had memory problems for quite a while, and I decided like my head was a little too important at this point in time in my life. But I still really
Mhm.
loved wrestling. I, put a lot of money and time and effort into it, and I was like, I felt like the scene was getting bigger, and I was making some good friends. So I stayed with it. I said, "Hey guys, I want to referee." So because I had done it before, I would wrestle, usually like the first match for some shows, like at Battleground. I refereed a show for MIW before I was like a full-time guy, and so I would wrestle like the first match, and then I would quick get changed and then ref all the other matches. So I was like busy the whole show, and I always had a blast doing it. But then yeah, I moved into the refereeing full time. I got my mask here if you wanted to see it.
Okay, let me see that
All
mask.
right, give me a second here, Michael. I gotta put the phone down. It's
Willie
been a little
Monroe.
while since I put it on.
Oh
Oh,
my goodness.
oh, how does it look?
Oh my God, it looks.
Oh yeah, that's contrast right there. And
Oh
it's got
wow.
all sorts of messes going on here with like a ponytail.
Mhm.
Back in the day, I was really into a wrestler called Delirious, and he kind of had like a ponytail thing going on. And
Mhm.
these little pigtails in the front that I put on were kind of an homage to the guy who trained me, Lenny Lane, in WCW. Kind of played a flamboyant character, if you will, and he had his hair in little pigtails up front in the front of his head. So I kind of wanted to pay homage to that. He got a kick out of that. So,
Yeah, you know what you remind me of?
what's that?
You remind me of this one wrestler name by the name of Udo. Remember him?
Udo, Udo Mangelsdorf. We had uh, we had lots of. Well, I guess not lots. I probably wrestled him like 3 or 4 times.
Okay, take the mask off.
Why? You can't concentrate with it.
No, okay, guys, I just want to see how it looks.
Yeah, there we go. All right, there. Then my
I
messy
just
bedhead.
want the Willie Mac back. There you go.
Yeah, me and Udo, um, we go back a ways. He was my like third match in, and
Hmm.
yes, Udo ruled. Yeah, Udo. Anyways, he and I had probably like 4 or 5 matches together, just
Hmm.
because we had like the same body type, and he went to the wrestling camp with Lenny Lane.
Hmm.
Along with, I don't know if you know him, the illustrious Rob Ivy was there on a consistent
Oh, I
basis.
know Rob. I know who Rob Ivy is.
Yeah, I haven't heard from him for a couple years. He dropped off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
Um, Spider Baby would show up, and then he had like some other little trainees. Um, who did he train? Quint. Quentin, no, no, not Quentin. Luther Wilson the third. He trained. I know that.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
he shows
I
up
know who
sometimes.
LW3 is. Oh my
Yep.
God.
Yeah, I know you know LW3. That's the only one that really kind of stuck. There was some guy from like a chiropractor and he wrestled for like less than a year and he moved out. There was another guy named Sky Steel he
Mhm.
started off as a skateboarding guy and then moved to like a biker gimmick. Yeah. But
Mhm.
Dennis the Menace Michaels was another one. He
Okay.
just did Dennis the Menace. I had like 3 or 4 matches with him too, but yeah, the only one that I know of that stuck around long enough was Luther Wilson. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he's another good wrestler
yeah,
too.
yeah. I liked him.
So so now so now now you gotta tell me, how did you become a referee? Yeah,
Yeah.
how you
So
got your start as a referee?
Terry Fox. No, it wasn't Terry Fox. It was Tim Larson. He used to do the booking for MIW back in the day when they only had like two venues that they would run out of instead of like the 8 that they have now. But they he contacted me. He needed a last minute ref, and I was at home, and my gear was ready, and he had a shirt for me, so I drove up there and refed my first show. And that was probably like a year in, and I really liked it, but I still liked the wrestling stuff too, and so I would ref a match, get changed really quick, and then go referee some matches. So wrestle and then ref and excuse me. I did that for a little while, and I really enjoyed that. But then, like I mentioned before, I kind of took a couple bumps on my head and got kicked in the head a couple times, and had some minor brain damage that I was dealing with, and I was in school. Decided that my head wasn't worth it, but I still wanted to keep it going. So I asked the promoters and the people that I was working for if I could just do the refing, and they were fine with that because at the time I
Mhm.
think Minnesota had like 2 refs, and that was it.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, and the
Okay.
rest is history.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, so my next question to you is, how many matches did you referee?
Oh man, that's so hard. There's a couple guys that I admire for keeping track of their stuff. They've got like a long list. I know Darren Corbin has a long list of all his opponents that he's had over the years. And I
Mm-hmm.
know like I can't remember which one it is, but one of the Lockharts, you know the Lockharts.
Oh
They're your
hell
boys.
yeah! Oh my God! I
I
interviewed those guys back in October
I know you
and
really like those
still
guys.
keep in touch with them. In fact, thank you for reminding me because I gotta message them back. Well, I gotta message them as soon as I'm done with this, and
Yeah,
live
good.
stream
I'm glad I
interview.
reminded you. So I don't know which one it was, but they have a tape ball where they save the wrist tape. I don't know if it's both wrists or just one of the wrists, and they put it all on the ball, and then they have you write your name on it. Everybody who is I can't remember if it was at the show because they used to do the rock and roll Buck Zumhoff shows
I
where they
try
would
to
do
forget about that. Okay.
yeah. But they would do those shows, and I don't know if everybody would sign it or if just the one person would sign it that they wrestled primarily. But
Mm-hmm.
I did get to sign his tape ball at one point in time, and man, it was probably the size of like a volleyball at the time. It was hefty. It was hefty, but I really don't know. There's some shows where I've refed the entire match or the entire
Mm-hmm.
show. You know, all 5, 6 matches. There's been shows where I only refed one match. Most recently here, I refed in Milwaukee. I refed a death match a couple years ago, and it was
Okay.
just that one match between Cody Grace and Orin Veidt. That's all I did. I showed up, rolled around in some glass and thumbtacks, and then left. But
Yeah.
yeah, and then sometimes you just show up to a show and you've got your gear bag and you're like, hey, you need a ref, or like, oh, you're here, you want a ref? Yeah, sure, why not? So
Mm-hmm.
it is hard to know. I refed from 2010 to present day. There's probably been, with personal stuff and like moving around, um, probably 1 year total of like time taken off of like not doing any wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
kind of incremented out, and then like 1 year with this COVID-19 thing going on. So
Mm-hmm.
um, I've got about 10 years of shows under my belt, sometimes, once a month, sometimes 9 or 10 times a month. So I couldn't tell you. It's got to be in the
Okay.
hundreds.
Oh, well, at least you told me how many years you've been in wrestling.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. I have no idea though.
mm-hmm. But my next question is, and I know you know this answer. Can you give me some of your favorite wrestling moments?
Um, yeah. How many do you want? Two or three?
You could give me three.
Three? All right. Um, my first wrestling performance. I'll give you one as a wrestler and then kind of two as a referee.
Okay.
Uh, my first one would have been the first time that I wrestled as like a bad guy character. I was probably about a year in. Yeah, it was about a year.
Mm-hmm.
And the one Dennis the Menace Michaels that I mentioned before, he was having his first match, and it was in my hometown, and it was
Mm-hmm.
the first time I had ever done, a heel wrestling, and I absolutely fell in love with it. And I was yelling at people, and I made his dad get out of his chair, even though there was an open chair right next to him, to get back up into the ring. And then, just picking on him the whole time and beating him up. It was a lot of fun. So that was probably like the first time that I was already in love with wrestling, but like I fell in love with it. This is something that I wanted to keep doing, as long as I possibly could. So that was that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Um, another moment, um, I guess like my favorite moments are like the big, big crowds, sold out shows. Like prime time would, I think they could
Oh,
cram
yes. Yes.
like eight or 900 into that building. um and like just the energy and like the people are just like excited and they're hyped. It's the big show. Any MIW show that was at the Chanhassen American Legion, even though you could only get like 70 people in there, those each person equaled like 10. They had so much energy.
Mm-hmm.
You've been there.
Yeah.
I love that place. Like the Pete Huge send off show was a lot of fun there.
Yeah.
Um, we did a show out in uptown Minneapolis in like a
Oh, I
vacant
don't
parking
go.
lot.
I don't go anywhere near uptown Minneapolis.
I know, but this is years ago. But we
Okay.
did one there, and there was probably 1,200 people there. I dislocated my shoulder,
Oh
and
no.
yeah, it was fun. It was fun, and it was just those types of shows are always a blast. Another one um, that I did was I mentioned before I did a death match, and it was scary and my heart was pumping. It was something that like I had always admired. Like, oh my gosh, these guys are rolling around in glass and they're bleeding. And
Mm-hmm.
Oren Veidt, who I consider like a good buddy of mine, and Cody Rice, who helped me like travel out of the state and kind of took me under his wing at one point in time, and he's a good dude. They were doing their match, and like I was part of it. It was just kind of like this, like it was a bond between the three of us, even though I wasn't getting too cut up. So that was my favorite. But my all-time favorite wrestling moment, my dad and my mom, I guess, only ever showed up to one show. It was my second match, and my mom was like scared to death of it. And when I was growing up, my dad, he would talk about people like Dusty Rhodes and Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage. But the other guy that he would talk about a lot was the Sodbuster Kenny J.
Okay.
And I know Sodbuster, and he's a great dude, and he would show up to shows on occasion. and like we know who each other are. And
Mm-hmm.
so my dad, just before I moved out here that summer, no, no,
Mm-hmm.
no, 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 it was I came back. So I was living in Milwaukee and I came back, and my dad, he came to the show um,
Mm-hmm.
out in Inver Grove Heights, and we Sodbuster Kenny J was there, and I introduced him to my dad. He was, one of my dad's favorite wrestlers, and we got a picture of him and Kenny doing his iconic thumbs up, and it was really cool to see my dad, a grown man, just having fun like a kid, like meeting one of his childhood heroes that him
Mm-hmm.
and his dad used to watch. So it was cool, kind of coming full circle. And then we sat down together, and I didn't ref, I think, the last match or maybe two matches or something. And I sat next to him, and we drank a beer and watched a couple matches. So that was also really cool too. So my favorite wrestling moment has nothing to do with actually wrestling. So
Mm-hmm.
yep,
Yeah. Well, I'm glad. Well, I'm glad that you picked those three favorite moments and
yeah.
whatnot. So now my next question to you is this. Um, what are your thoughts about the Academy School of Pro Wrestling? And do you recommend people who wants to get into the wrestling business try the Academy School of Pro Wrestling?
Yeah, so when God, what would that have been? 2005 or 2006, I was watching SmackDown, and this guy comes out, and his name is Mr. Ken Kennedy. And
Mhm,
I looked at him and I was like, that guy looks really familiar. And he was Ken Anderson from Steel Domain Wrestling, which was on Channel 45 like 20 years ago.
mhm,
And I was like, he was a local guy. He like wrestled in this area. He was on my local TV in front of 50 people. And
mhm,
I was like, if he can get into this, why can't I? And that was like what really like drove me to be a pro wrestler. I have never been to the academy, um,
mhm,
but I've seen the people that have come out of the academy. I've also seen the people that have gone into the academy and like didn't do
mhm,
much. And I don't know how Ken has organized it, or like the hierarchy of things, or how the classes are ran. But
mhm,
Ken inspired me to become a pro wrestler. I've refed a few matches with Ken Anderson, and he's a phenomenal pro wrestler. Uh,
mhm,
he he knows a lot of stuff. He's very experienced, and I couldn't think of somebody better in the area that would be able to train the way that you should, like a coach. And that's kind of his
mhm,
mentality when he shows up to a show. He's a
mhm,
coach, and so I think that I would recommend going to it. I don't know how he does it, but yeah, I definitely would. It's the most professional thing that I've seen since Lenny Lane's camp, so I would recommend it.
mhm. Yeah, can I ask you this?
Hmm.
Like, I know, let's just think of Sological, If if there were the County School of Professional Wrestling back then,
Yeah,
Were you wanting to go to that camp and give that a try? If that if it were if that were the case,
yeah,
about
that makes sense. For me, it was location, location, location. Lenny Lane's camp was a little bit closer than Terry Fox's camp, so that's why I chose that one. So I mean, like if it was close, I would go to it. Um, to be honest, if I was becoming a wrestler right now, or when the academy first came out and I joined, I probably wouldn't have made it through. To be honest, um,
Mhm.
the talent that's come out of there, like what is he? I can't remember what he's going by now. Is he going by Darius Williams? But
Mhm.
Airwolf,
Airway.
Airwolf, and his brother went there. Um, Brandon Gore. I can't remember that one guy that does the twerking. He does like the gay pride wrestling stuff.
Are you
What's his
talking
name?
about Devin Monroe?
Yes, Devin Monroe. He's one of my favorites, and I
He's
love
one of
I
my
love watching him. I love
favorites.
watching him grow. Oh my God. I went to his match, the match that his mom first went to. He did a
Hmm.
ladder match. He got put through a ladder, and I can't believe it. You bring your mama to this show? You put through a ladder? Crazy guy. Yeah, all those guys, they're phenomenal. Kyle Pro. Uh,
Oh, we got to talk about him. Now,
yeah,
I interviewed him twice, and I remember, talking it, I, discussing this on my previous episodes of, and I tell people that what a good wrestler he is. I mean,
yes,
oh my God, he does such a good job as a heel.
yeah,
I
he's
mean,
good.
oh my God. When his gimmick, I don't know if you follow AWF. Oh my God.
Is it
He
good?
got a long beard,
Yeah.
long hair. Oh my God. He is he's the AWF heavyweight champion, I believe.
Yeah, yeah, I saw
Oh
that.
my God. This kid can work.
But yeah, so the physiques, the talent that's coming out of there, the professionalism, I probably wouldn't have completed. I would have been lost in the crowd of people that go there. I probably would have tried to stick with it, but like with all these other people coming out that are being fantastic, I probably wouldn't have been a pro wrestler. If I would have gone to the school now, like when it first came out, I would have probably tried to become good friends with Ricky Norin and Bill,
Yes.
and we would have tried to do something, But as far as that goes, like I don't think I would have made it, but I
Yes.
would have gone.
Mm-hmm. And and speaking of Bill Williams is the oldest wrestler to graduate from the academy.
Oh, is he?
Yep. Yes, he is. Um, I mean, he's another good wrestler too. I mean, he's a good damn worker. I mean,
Yeah.
if you see his matches, oh my God, he knows like wrestling. He knows wrestling. He knows, I believe, jiu-jitsu.
Yep, I saw
And
that.
oh my God, he
Yeah.
is such good. I mean, we both got something in common. We're
Yeah.
both hecklers. We both like wrestling. And oh my God, we just like hanging out. Like
Yeah, it's
you
good.
said, you know, it's like you said, I like hanging out with him, and I also like hanging out with Ricky Norton.
Yes,
Um,
he's Rick Noren's a great dude. I don't know if I've ever no, I have. I have refed a couple of his matches. And
mhm,
he's fun to and the one thing that I really appreciate about him, Ricky Noren, is they do so all the academy kids, they either do like really technical stuff or they do the high spot, the monkey flips and the banana kicks and stuff. And
mhm.
it's kind of hard to watch. But Ricky Noren came out of there with like a different aspect. He's like, I don't have that physique. I don't have the pure athletic talent that like Airwolf or Brandon Gore have. So I'm gonna fixate more on my words because I'm a performer. I'm an artist, and he's able to, like you say, heckle the crowd a lot, but he also works in a really like slow, methodical, old school way. And that's I guess another cool thing that's come out of the academy. You can get those people that'll dive. You'll get those people that can put you in an arm wringer and suplex you. And then on the other end, you got this guy who's going to take it slow. He's going to poke you in the eye. He's going to stop you in the foot. And he's going to kick you in the dick.
Oh, okay. All right. Because I know at wrestling shows, every time I chant, and I know you know this. I know you
Yeah,
know this about me. I chanted Tiny Wiener. I
tiny wiener.
Everybody laughed their asses off
I know.
until some fans got so offended, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
That's when the heat started with you, Michael. Your infamy started with your tiny wiener comments.
Maybe you know something. Maybe when wrestling is back up and running, I
Yeah,
may have to start chanting that
yeah,
again
bring back the
because
tiny wiener.
yeah,
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do
yeah. Well,
that.
knowing me.
Anyways.
Anyways, you never know about me when I'm in Michael at these wrestling shows. I'm telling you, you don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know what I might do, what I might say, but I try not to say the F word,
No, that's good.
because oh no, when
Keith Huff.
there's children around, I try not to do that. So yeah.
Keith Huffman. Did you see Keith Huffman's comment? Keep it real, Michael. He answered the question about what they go by when Airwolf comes back to town and when he's on TV and stuff. So that's cool.
Mhm.
Anyway, what's the next
Anyway,
question for me?
all right. So where you're not being a referee at wrestling shows, what what do you like to do on your personal time? What Willie Mack likes to do on his time off?
It's always changing. Sometimes I'm doing nothing. Sometimes I'm always busy. It just kind of depends on my moods. But I play guitar. Um, and sometimes I do like open mic nights. I write songs and stuff like that.
Oh, I
Um,
didn't know that.
yeah,
Now
yeah,
I didn't know this about you.
yeah. I kind of play like a folky type of music. A lot like Trampled by Turtles would be a
Hmm.
good
Oh my
comparison.
God. Robert Stone just joined. He's watching.
Oh, very
Uh,
nice.
Robert Stone from NXT is watching. Oh my
Oh,
God.
hey,
Oh my goodness.
look at you being famous. You want to know the famous person I met today?
Who?
What's his name? He does the announcing for the Brewers.
The Brewers. Oh.
Yeah, the baseball team. I just had like his name right on the tip of my tongue. I'm obviously not from Milwaukee, so I don't really know this kind of stuff. But I met like the announcer, and he used to play there too. What was his name? I'd have to look it up, but I don't want to back out of this screen here.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, that's who I met today at work. Um, I like to. What else do I do? Kind of an artist.
Mm-hmm.
I'm currently in school for graphic design. So sometimes I'm doing like my own artwork. Sometimes I'm designing like a wrestling poster or a T-shirt. This is actually a shirt from Joseph Wayne, Stonehenge Joseph Wayne.
Oh my God. He's been begging me, trying to get me to put him on an episode of Michael's Corner.
That'd be a good one. Make him do it in character though.
Oh hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'm gonna
um,
look, I'm gonna take you up on your offer. It's like I've been wanting to interview Stoneheads and I want him to be in character. And
yeah,
I'm trying. I'm gonna interview him, and I'm gonna ride along with Kyle Pro.
yeah, yeah.
Yes. Um, I'm gonna do that I believe in 2 months' time,
Nice.
because that's the only way I can get them both on. You know. So.
Yeah, so I do art. I do the music stuff. And I like to go hiking. I used to love climbing on the bluffs of the Mississippi. They don't really have those out here in Milwaukee, so
Okay.
I like going on road trips. Me and my wife for our honeymoon, we
Oh
went all the way to
really?
Oregon. Yep, yep. We went all the way to Oregon and back.
No, no, no. Oh, no, no. I take
Oh,
that back. I didn't know you got married.
yeah, I got married back in June.
Oh my goodness.
And I had a
Really? I
pandemic
didn't
wedding.
know this.
Yeah, yeah, I got a pandemic wedding. Here's my wedding
Oh,
ring.
that's a cool ring.
Yeah, I had it designed after one of the belts.
Oh,
Yeah, see,
neat.
it's like Ric Flair's belt.
Neat.
Yeah, all diamonds. And then for work in the real world, I sell jewelry. That's why I got such a big ring. Sell
Mhm.
jewelry on at Jared, the Gallery of Jewelry. I wear a suit and a tie. Sometimes when I come to shows after work, I'm like the best dressed guy there, and it's just because that's my work outfit. And
Yes.
then currently I also work part time as a barista too.
Yep,
So
yep, that I know. You
yeah,
told
yeah,
me about
that's most recent. That's a few weeks old now. So
that.
yeah, I'm a
Yeah,
busy guy,
and
busy guy.
yep, one thing I like about you, Willie, is when you come to a wrestling show, you dress so professionally. And really, you
That's
do.
just a work outfit. That's just a work outfit. But yeah,
Well,
I do like to look good.
yeah, that's what I mean. You look good, and you're not like some other. Oh my God,
Not wearing my
I'm not gonna
my
even.
athletic shorts like this with like ripped sleeves. No, no,
No,
gotta look nice.
no, no,
I'm
no.
heading to. I'm gonna
You're
go
not
to.
like you're not like Mike Diamond who also referees the match and dresses all. Yeah, I used to pick on him at wrestling shows.
Mike
Well,
Diamond. That's a
yes,
name I haven't heard in 15 years. Little huckster. Yeah, oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah. And
Mike
I tell
Diamond.
you, he used to go to Kurt's shows, and
Oh,
I used to give him such a hard time.
yeah, I bet. I didn't go to too many Kurt shows. I probably went to one, and then one that he did with Jim Creer. So yeah, I went to
You
those two
do
shows.
know,
And
you do know that I recorded some of the matches that Kurt did at the shows because I
oh yeah,
was
yeah.
his assistant. So you
I've
got
seen
to
him.
yeah,
That's
check
how I
them
knew
out.
about you. That's how I know that you were starting the pro wrestling stuff. So that's how I
Yes,
heard.
yep.
I'm like
And
Rice and Darren
then,
Corbin telling me about you. This guy
hmm
in the crowd, he always says tiny wiener. His name is Michael Earl Pam. He's got three names.
yeah, Darren Corbin. He will talk about me and and whatnot. And oh shit, my cousin's on here. Hey,
Nice.
hey, cuz, what's up? Oh my God.
They said my aunt out in Washington is what it was watching for a little bit too, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's kind of cool that they join. It's like it's like this was just a last minute thing because I was trying to look for a great photo of you and your referee shirt. I
Oh, you got to
couldn't
go back
find
a
not
little bit.
one. I couldn't find not one good photo. So I say, what the hell? I'm
You
just
should
going.
ask. Michael, you should always ask a pro wrestler. A good pro wrestler, and if any other wrestler or referee is listening, you should have a portfolio. You should have designs, you should have t-shirts, you should have photos, you should have videos. It should be accessible so that if a promoter or somebody like Michael Earl Pam is going to contact you, you could text it to them in a minute. You shouldn't have to wait. It should just be available. So next time you need a photo of somebody, you ask them. And if they don't give you a photo right away, if it takes them longer than 2 days to get you a photo, don't have them on
You
your show.
know
They're
me.
not a good
You
wrestler.
know me. I will go right into them and I'm gonna search for photo and I'm just gonna put it out there.
I know, but you should ask. If they don't give you
I
a
do.
photo,
Yeah.
don't 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 have them on your show if they don't give you a photo because that means that they're not professional and you only need professional people here.
And you made a solid point there.
Yeah. Keith wants to know about my red shoes.
Yeah.
When maybe like 7 years ago, Keith, I bought a pair of red shoes and I loved them. And like the next pair of red shoes that I bought for myself, or the next pair of shoes that I bought were red. And I was wearing red shoes and people like always gave me compliments on them. So
Mhm.
I bought I bought some red reffing shoes. And every shoe that I have bought in the last 7 years for myself, other than uh, work shoes, are red. So they're always
Mhm.
red. They're never the same ones. They're always red. So
Can I tell you? I gotta tell you this one story.
yeah.
Okay, I went to a Steel Domain wrestling show. It was
Okay.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
All right, I was wearing nothing but a red long sleeve T-shirt and red pants and
Yeah.
black shoes. And when I
Okay.
went to a when I went to the Steel Domain wrestling show, oh my freaking god! Everybody started calling me I don't know what I don't know what these wrestlers were starting to call me, but Golden Idol started calling me, hey, ketchup. And it's like got all these wrestlers making fun of me. It's like, what's up
Calling
with
it
the
ketchup.
red? What's up with all this red? And I was like, oh my God, red's my favorite color. I had to wear it. It's like you look like you.
Yeah, that's
It's so
funny. That's a
funny.
good ketchup.
Yeah.
Michael Ketchup Earl Pam.
Oh God.
Got four
Don't
names
get me
now.
started. Yeah, I just like wearing red, and then all he
It's a
got,
good color.
it's a good color,
It's a
and then
good
Golden
color.
Idol went into the back, got all those wrestlers just heckling at me about my red outfit. Oh my God.
So one of the things that I enjoy about my red shoes though that I wear when I ref is it's kind of up in the air. There's some people who hate it. They say,
Mhm.
and then there's some people who love it. And the people who love it, they just like it because it looks different. But the
Mhm.
people who hate it, they say it detracts away from the match. And I said, well, then the shoes are the bar. And if my shoes are detracting away from the match, that means it's a
Mhm.
bad match.
Oh, oh,
Isn't that true?
that's
If
true.
my shoes are getting more attention than the two dudes beating the crap out of each other in the ring, then that's a bad match.
Oh my God. I would wear those shoes just to as a distraction. Oh
Yeah,
my God. You should do that. You
I
should do
do.
that.
I wear them every time. Gotta have the red shoes.
Yeah, you gotta have the red shoes. And like me, I gotta have my red outfit. But if I
Yep,
wear
yep.
my red
Ketchup.
outfit, oh my God. And if I wear it to a Steel Domain wrestling show, oh, that Golden Idol, oh my God. He will go right back. He's gonna tell all the heel wrestlers to just give me hell. Because I'll give it right back to him.
Very nice.
But Golden Idol's a good guy, you know. Yeah,
Yes.
we talk a lot, but man, when I wore that red outfit, oh my God. Oh my God. He
You got
freaking
another
hated it.
question?
Yeah, I got one last question.
One last question. Great.
Yep. So when wrestling shows are back up and running, which match or matches are you looking forward to referee if when all when all this is over and done with?
Well, things are like up in the air right now. Like I don't know where I'm gonna be like refereeing. Just because I know like some of the promotions around here have been doing just fine without me, and they might not need me. So it'll be interesting kind of seeing where I go. Um, some of the people that like I'm excited to see wrestle again um, are, gosh, I don't even know. I haven't really paid attention much. I really like
Mhm.
Brandon Gore, and I haven't seen too much of him. And I don't. Um, So I hope to see him more. Um,
Mm-hmm.
locally here, a lot of people have been doing like their own thing, and they
Mm-hmm.
they have been doing the wrestling shows like throughout the pandemic, which makes me nervous. But I mean, they ended up fine, so good for
Yep.
them.
Yep. Good for
Um,
them.
yeah, I don't really know. It's been I'm not really too much of a fan of anybody, but I'm excited to see more wrestling in the future here come on
Yeah.
the social media. You know, because I got friends. You know, you talked about him,
Mm-hmm.
Shaggy Campbell. He up in
Yep.
Canada. I'm excited to see him start wrestling again on
Yes.
Facebook.
Oh my God. Shaggy Campbell, Tommy Lee Curtis.
Yep.
He's actually one of my good friends. I chatted with him. I video chatted with him a couple months ago,
Yeah.
and he's telling me he's doing fine.
Good.
Um, he recently had his third child.
Just putting him out real fast. Like 3 years,
Dang.
3 or 4 years ago, he just had the one.
Yeah, yeah,
So
but
yeah.
damn, Shaggy
Oh,
Campbell.
you know who I am excited to see? Rennie D.
Hell yeah! Let's talk about this. Yes, we gotta talk about this. This interview is not over yet. We
Yeah.
gotta talk about this. A couple weeks ago, Randy D announced that he's making his return.
Yep.
Oh my God. You, of all people, should referee his match.
You want me to?
Yes.
Well, you set it up for me. I don't know where he's going, but like
I don't know
if you
where he's
find out,
going
you let
either.
me know.
Yep. And I'll let you know, like, I'll keep my eyes open because Rennie D, oh my goodness.
Yeah,
He's
so
one of the
he
good
was
wrestlers.
somebody that should have never left pro wrestling, but he needed to. He needed to kind of find himself. And kind of
Yeah.
watching his journey on social media, I know like things didn't go really well with his first marriage, and he ended up
Hmm.
moving and starting this Fit Butters thing, and like kind of
Yes.
became he's his
Which
own
I'm
made
gonna
man
get
now.
by the way. Which I'm gonna get by the way, because I keep
Yep.
hearing that his fit butters are good and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I
So
keep interrupting you.
I'm excited to see him back in action, especially with his new body, you know. And that's
Oh
another
my.
thing about this pandemic, in the time that we've had, especially for those who haven't wrestled, you know, to see how people have spent this year off because there's you could do studying. You know, you can
Mhm.
watch psychology, you can, practice in your head or, in your living room by yourself. You can come up with new spots and you can come up you should be working out. You know, you should be treating this better than just as well as you treat this because it's
Mhm.
you've had a whole year. And it'll be really interesting to see the people who are doing the same stuff who are even fatter than they are before coming out and thinking that they're still good. I mean, they should be, in good shape. They should be even better than they were. You had a whole year to do it. And if you just sat around eating
Mhm.
potato chips, you know, and like just to be a man of my own word, I'm down 40 pounds. So
Well, yeah.
I have taken this time during the pandemic to lose a bunch of weight too. So
Mhm. And
yeah,
also too, like in this pandemic, you know, it's really a good time, you know, that wrestlers need to just work out, plan a strategy, and plan ahead, eat right, and whatnot. Because you know, once you get back in that ring, you know, it's gonna show in the ring that you know, are you really working this hard to
yeah,
achieve what you want in life? Because you gotta, because wrestling is psychology, you know.
yeah,
It's, you know, you gotta be able, you gotta stay in shape, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta practice practice the moves and whatnot. And
Yep.
like now with this, like the pandemic hit all of us hard. Um, you know, it's just it
It's gonna
takes
be
away.
yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see all the talent come back and see the differences from those who wrestled through the pandemic, to see those who improved themselves through the pandemic, be it either by like watching a ton of wrestling and coming up with new stuff, or changing their gimmick, or working on their body, or all
Mm-hmm.
three. And it'll be
Mm-hmm.
interesting to compare those two groups of people to the people who didn't do anything. I think
Yeah,
they're gonna
yeah.
fall behind. I hope they leave.
And I could tell you this. I was like when this is all over and all the
Yeah,
wrestling fans come back, it's gonna be really emotional.
yep,
It's gonna be
it'll be good
really
stuff.
emotional. And if you ever see, I don't know, if you ever see me like in an emotional state, that
Yeah,
tells it's like this is how much I miss you guys because this is my family. This Steel Domain Wrestling, and Midwest All Star Wrestling, and AWF. Those wrestling organizations, that's my family too.
yeah,
And I got these wrestlers who I interviewed and or interact with. That's my family.
yep,
And
yep,
that's the reason why I wanted to do, because usually I do Michael's Corner at wrestling shows. And when
yeah.
the pandemic hit, it just took away from everything. So it gives me an opportunity to you know, to interview these wrestlers through my live stream because then we could just actually sit down and talk
Hmm.
about some stuff you know about I like my interviews to last long. It's gonna usually is Michael's Corner was first as a segment,
Yeah, it was like
but
not even 5 minutes.
not even 5 minutes. But hell, Willy, my interviews last. The longest interview that I ever did was probably an hour and 8 minutes.
This
That's
one's
a
getting
new
there.
record. That's a new record for me because I have never done anything like this before.
Yeah,
People, people watching this, you know, watching these interviews, watching my interviews, they come up to me and say, Michael, you are doing one hell of a job with this interview. And it's like, I would love, you know, I love interviewing wrestlers because, you know, it gives me the opportunity to know the wrestlers. Not just for me, but other people that are watching. They're
yep,
watching me, getting to know the wrestlers, what they can do in the ring, how they came up with their gimmick names and whatnot. Because, opportunities and people and wrestlers be talking to me about they want to be champion and they're being overlooked, and whatnot. What do I have to do to get myself on the top of the game? So and whatnot, and I give them some best advice. You pray, always pray, because if it doesn't come to you now, then don't worry about it. It will come to you at the right time. You just gotta work hard, achieve your goals, and maybe one day you'll get that title opportunity. Because in the wrestling business, title opportunities don't come around every day.
yep. That's true.
And whatnot. So, well, before we wrap up this interview,
Yeah.
um, where can people follow you on social media?
I'm really only on the Facebook. So you
Okay.
can find me. It's I think it's like /contrast 13 maybe. I do have an
Mm-hmm.
Instagram. I haven't put anything up there for years, but I
Mm-hmm.
do have some stuff up on there. That's Reffin Willie Mac REFFIN Willie Mac WILLYMAC.
That's
But
what
yeah,
I
it's
figured. That's what I thought because remember I mentioned earlier, and I was telling people that we're not talking about Willie Mack the wrestler. We're talking
yep,
Willie Mack the referee because
exactly.
yours spells WILLYMAC, but Willie Mack spells it differently.
He's
His
IE.
spells his spells with an E and it ends with MACK.
Yep. We probably picked out those names like the same week. He's
Mm-hmm.
been around like just as long as I have. So, and my name, just to kind of wrap it all up, the name that I got Willie Mack from, my grandpa, who was a big pro wrestling fan, who got my dad into it. His name was William McKinnon, and so I kind of
Okay.
shortened it, and it's just to kind of pay homage to my family and the
Oh,
people and the person who got us into pro wrestling.
that's good. That's
Yep.
wonderful.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Willie, thank you so much. Oh my God. It's I've been wanting to interview you for the very, very longest. And
Yep.
I'm
Well, we
glad
we
that we got
almost beat
this.
the record.
Yep. I almost
We're
beat
at over an
yet
hour now.
another record. Because when after this interviews and whatnot, and after this gets uploaded on Facebook, I I will, copy it, save
Yeah.
it, and then do some editing.
Yeah.
So once I
Kind
do
of
some
shorten her up.
editing, I have to put my Michael's Corner
Oh
local,
yeah. Yep.
and then I could put the photo of where people can find me on social media. I just
Yeah.
put that towards the end, and
Yeah.
everybody loves it.
Maybe
So
you should split the video up into portions. Because this is over an hour. Take it. Make it each question so that each one isn't quite as long. Because I wouldn't want to sit down and watch an entire hour-long video. And then that way you got more content to put up throughout the week.
and that's a very good point as well. And
Yep. 'Cause
it's
I am a
like I'm
marketing student,
working on
buddy.
it. Yeah, it's like I'm working on it, and it's like I'm working on it. It's just a process,
Yep. You
and
can make this into 5 or 6 little clips. Yep.
Mhm,
And then you could put that up onto YouTube, and then you could share that to Facebook, share that to your
mhm.
Insta. Yep. You got some work to do now.
Yeah. But yeah, and I take somebody's advice too hard. And if this doesn't work this way, then yeah. So Willie, you have yourself a great evening,
Yeah, it
and
was fun, Michael.
you're welcome to join. You're welcome to join anytime. All right.
All right, all right.
All right.
You let me know when you want me back on, but I'll keep an eye out for your new stuff. All right.
All right.
All right. Hit me up when you get it up on YouTube.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. I'll talk
Yep.
to you later. Bye.
Yep. Bye. Okay. That was a great, interesting interview. Um, you guys, that was great. I've been waiting so long to interview Willie Willie Mack for so long, and I got the chance to interview him tonight. So you guys, that wraps it up for this episode of Michael's Corner, and I will see you guys in the